Hello, everyone. This is Coach Maggie, Certified Health and Lifestyle Coach. And welcome to day 4 of our holiday mini series. And we have been talking about those big stressors. And several weeks ago, I took a survey on Facebook and went into several groups that I belong to and began to ask women what were some of those struggles, those challenges, especially around the holidays. And so that's what we've been diving into. If you've missed the others, please go ahead and check those out. We've talked about overcommitment and busyness. We've talked about those cravings that we deal with and just the struggles, and then also self-care. So today we're talking about exercise. Now that's a word that sometimes is almost like a curse word because people know we need to do it and yet we tend to resist it. And so I want to talk about it and how we can get it into our busy schedules. Now, right now, I'm recording this in November. But I imagine down the line, there will be people watching this, and it may be summer, it may be spring. But particularly, I'm in the Midwest. So as we are in fall and going into Thanksgiving, by 5 o'clock, it's already dark and it's starting to get cold. And so it just simply becomes one more excuse to exercise. But we're going to debunk that. And so let's get ready because you will have no more excuses not to get movement into your day. So, like all of the other things that we've talked about, we want to know why. Because really, we can try to solve an issue. We often tend to skirt around things. We find solutions, but until we really dive in and discover why it's a problem for us, we often miss the elephant that's in the room. So I'm asking you, if we were sitting down face to face and I said, why don't you exercise? What would you say? So think about that. What would you say? What's your excuse? Now, maybe you're that 1 or 2% that does regularly, but if you're not, why don't you? So really give that some thought. So we're going to look at a few of the reasons that are very, very common, and then we'll talk about what we can do to solve those problems. So the first one, which is so common with really most of the things that we've talked about, it's time. So more and more people are saying, I just don't have time. And yes, there's so many things going on. And especially as it's going into the end of the year, we're all busy. Another thing is no desire. Fact is, I don't want to exercise. Okay, that's another issue. Another one is no consistency. You see, a lot of people will exercise for a week and maybe even 2 or 3. And about the time they seem to be getting the momentum, they stop. Something happens. They go on vacation. Someone's sick. Something changes. Maybe their hours change. And then suddenly it's like they've fallen off the wagon. So that becomes a problem. Another big one, and I've seen this one firsthand, and that's we exercise, but we don't see results. So that's another big issue. How many times have you worked at it? You've been diligent, and yet you don't see the number on the scale change. Your pants still fit tight. You still feel sluggish, and you don't see any change. So then it's easy to say it's not working. So let's take a look at each one and see if we can figure it out, peel back the layers. So the first one, no time. Well, we've talked about that one because the fact of the matter is we do have time. You have time for the things that you really, really, really want to do. I bet, and I've said this before, I bet you can tell me, let's see, who has done what in the sports world, if that's your thing. You can tell me the latest movies. You can tell me your favorite sitcoms or dramas. Who's doing what? You can tell me who's doing what on social media. So you see, you do have time. You're just using it for other things. Okay, so don't use that excuse, I don't have time. You do, all right? Another one is no desire. Well, that is a big one. But one of the things that for me helps is to find someone who also needs to be doing the same thing. So in this case, exercise. Do you have a friend, a partner, someone that you can reach out to that maybe you've talked about and you've said, you've each said, boy, I need to exercise. What about if you got on the same page and you said, all right, we're going to hold each other accountable? Sometimes, put some skin in the game. Maybe say, all right, every time somebody calls in and says they can't, they've got to throw $1 in the kitty, okay? And at the end of the month, whoever's done it the least gets it. But some way, spark something to get that interest, to get you into the game. Another one is no consistency, and this is a big one too. One of the things that I find personally with really most things is having a specific time. A specific time. So for example, if I say, okay, we're going to walk every evening, it tends to be hit and miss for me and my husband. But if I say, you know what, let's walk at 7 every evening, as it gets closer to 7 and we're looking at the clock, I'm like, okay, it's almost 7. Then it's a lot easier. Or if you say, I'm going to walk on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, or I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to run or ride my bike. If you have specific days and time, you can tell when you're getting close, and you can also tell when you've missed it. But if you just say, okay, we're going to exercise tonight, or I'm going to walk tomorrow, and it is so open that it's too easy to miss it. The last one is you don't see results. Okay, on this one, keep at it, keep at it. We tend to give up way too easy on most of our goals because we're not seeing results. But the fact is, it's this way with most things, whether it's saving money, it's, on a good eating plan or whatever. The results don't happen overnight. And if you think about it, you haven't done this in a while, and so it's going to take a while. You have to keep going because when it finally kicks in, it kicks in fast. It's like trying to watch your hair grow. Trust me, you don't see anything, but one day you look up and you go, wow, okay, my hair is growing. Or wow, my skin is clearing up. Or wow, I do feel better. Or my clothes fit a little looser. So we have to give things time. And so often we're in such a hurry that we really do ourselves a disservice. So stick with it. One of the things I like to do is I keep a journal and I often write it down like day 1 or day 15. And I just keep plugging away and keep plugging away. One of the things that I do and I have is a tracker. And it's just a simple case of putting that little X, when you walk, when you drink water, when you read in the evening, when you maybe practice meditation, when you eat your vegetables, whatever it is, it's a great way to keep you on task. So try something as simple as that. So let's look at some things that you can do. Again, this is the fall. A few weeks ago, we raked leaves. That was work. Exercise does not have to be at a gym. It doesn't have to be jogging or walking or lifting weights. It can be just the day-to-day things. The leaves are still falling, so probably this weekend, we'll be raking leaves again. That is wonderful exercise because we're using all of our muscles and joints and it's the best way. We're using every part of the body. So raking leaves, cleaning house, running after kids, going outside and playing football outside, going up and down stairs, parking further away, and walking. All of those things, dancing as a family, all of those things are great forms of exercise. Don't get stuck on thinking of doing jumping jacks. Now, when it's cold, especially in the winter, I have a little mini trampoline, and just 5 or 10 minutes on that, I get a really good workout. So there are so many ways of getting exercise and movement, more importantly, into your day. So what's your big excuse? Did we figure out a solution? There's no excuse not to. The fact is, exercise helps you have more energy, you burn calories, you get your metabolism moving, it sharpens your brain, you sleep better. Those are just a few of the things, and it fights off disease and boosts your immune system. So let those be also reasons to say, I'm going to do it, whether I see the results or not. So again, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love for you to send me an email, leave comments, and let me know, because there's no more excuses. We need to stay active. And this is not only for the holidays, this is year round. So take care, God bless, and I want to hear from you soon.